Now I would like to introduce to you Dr. Tania McKey. Tania McKey is the Senior Director of Humanities for Portland Public Schools. Tania leads the work articulating PPS vision for achieving a guaranteed and viable curriculum. This includes developing and implementing coherent, standard-based core curriculums for K through 12 literacy, language arts, and social science ethnic studies. She has created a K-12 intervention team, created a plan for offering K-12 teacher science of reading training, and has refocused resources to support foundational literacy. She also guides and supports dual language immersion and English language development. She started her career as an IB social studies teacher and has held a multitude of teaching and administrative positions in K-12 schools and districts in Alabama, Indiana, Minnesota, and we are lucky to have her here in Oregon. Thank you, Tania, and it's your turn.
All right, good evening. Thank you, everybody. My name is Dr. Tania McKey, and I am the Senior Director of Humanities in the Portland Public Schools. But I'm also a mom, and my daughter will enter kindergarten this fall. And so I realized I'm starting to get a little emotional after listening to Kathy and to Paula. I want to start by sharing a quote by Dr. Louisa Moats. Informed teachers are our best insurance against reading failure. While programs are very helpful tools, programs don't teach, teachers do. And my heart is so full right now. I'm so thankful for all of the faces that I see of Portland Public School teachers that are with us tonight. And a special thank you to Kathy Parker for being our keynote tonight. So I've been an educator for 25 years. When I was 4 years old, and my mom can still talk about exactly where I was sitting, I used to read to my stuffed animals, and I dreamed about being a teacher. That's all I ever wanted to be, as a teacher. In college, I remember writing my statement of teaching philosophy in writing that all kids deserve a world-class education, meaning that every child, the very best teacher, the best resources, experiences, and most importantly, seeing themselves in the curriculum that was being taught. As I was reflecting today in preparation, I realized that my statement should be all kids receive, not deserve, but receive a world-class education. My why is to challenge the racist systems and structures that do not allow this to happen for all of our kids. I'm a leader in the largest school district in the state of Oregon. Kathy shared that the percentage of Black students being taught to read is 26%. This is not only unacceptable, but it makes me angry. It makes me angrier in that many of the institutes of higher education are not angered by this percentage. I have been working closely with community organizations like Decoding Dyslexia and Oregon Kids Read, and we have been reaching out to Oregon's institutes of higher education with a simple request. Please include research-based practices like science of reading in your teacher preparation programs and reading licensure programs. To be honest, it is very disappointing that many of the institutes of higher ed in Oregon are not willing, as Kathy said, to act on this request. Instead, they will continue to do business as usual. Some of the IHEs challenged me personally and my role as a district leader of literacy, stating that I should be providing the professional learning for our teachers as they have too many standards to cover in their teacher prep program. As a district and as a leader in the district, I absolutely agree that we need to prioritize funding to engage our teachers in the science of reading training. And as the largest district in Oregon, we have made that commitment. The board's made the commitment, Superintendent Guerrero's made that commitment, and the entire Office of Teaching and Learning has made that commitment. However, Being engaged in professional learning once you start a teaching position should not be the first time you've engaged in learning about the science of reading. I am so proud to say that in PPS already, in 13 months, we have more than 300 teachers, TOSAs, administrators, speech language pathologists, special ed teachers, I can go on and on, who have finished or are currently enrolled in language essentials for the teaching of reading and spelling letters. So letters is grounded in the science of reading. Teaching reading is rocket science, as stated by Louisa Moats. This intensive teacher training incorporates reading research conducted in neuroscience, cognitive development psychology, and linguistics, so that educators have solid evidence on how to teach reading to benefit all students. School districts like Portland Public Schools should be providing this type of quality teacher training. However, how do I explain to a new teacher who just graduated with their master's in elementary education at some of our Oregon universities and possibly up to 50,000 or more in debt, that, by the way, I have enrolled you in letters, and it will be approximately 100 hours of training, and training that may be counter to what they actually learned in their teacher prep program. Another one of my challenges, not the new teachers, it's many of you that are here tonight, the teachers where I thought, as I reached out to institutes of higher ed to say, all of our teachers are going through letters training, I'd love to offer them college credit. So I have Portland Public School employees in letters paying for college credit, but I'm disappointed in myself, because what happens when they finish and get that credit, but then they go to enroll in the reading endorsement program to find out that the university doesn't include the science of reading in their coursework. And so the 100+ hours they just spent in letters doesn't work with what they're now learning. So I understand that some professors at universities in Oregon and across the United States philosophically disagree with the science of reading. However, as Kathy said a few times in her opening, we need to look at the data and see that less than 50% of third graders are taught to read, and Black third graders, only 26%. We have to be courageous and act. We need to stop doing what is not working and try something else. The way we've been teaching students to read is not working for Black students, brown students, or matter of fact, is not working for 50% of our students. As a school district leader, I'm also engaging with leaders across the United States around science of reading, and more specifically, the success that states are having with training teachers in the science of reading through letters. Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Ohio, Alabama, Mississippi, just to name a few. In my quest for trying to get partnership in this work, I have reached out to several institutes of higher education outside of Oregon and simply just asked the question, how are you getting instructors and professors at your institution to engage in the science of reading? Just yesterday, in talking with a university, he said, I simply showed them the data and said it is our responsibility as a public university to do a better job. And that's what he said. I mean, he's also in Alabama, where he said, I'm going to be real. There's something called the Literacy Act here in Alabama that says you will teach this. This is what all teachers will have. And it goes back to the fact that literacy is a civil right. Every single day I get up, and there's a couple of my staff members on this call, I'm bothered every day. I really wish I was a happier person, but I'm really bothered that I continually look at data. Now, where I'm very happy is seeing all of you, and many of you are engaged in this work with us. But we have to find partners in this work. We need the Oregon Department of Education to be partners with us. We need the community to be partners with us. We need to have partners at the institutes of higher education, because the data speaks for itself. If what you're doing is not working, you stop doing it. If it was working, we wouldn't be at over 50% of kids that aren't learning to read. And so me coming tonight was to bring attention to the importance of this data and of focusing on getting all of our kids to read, and to hold institutes of higher education accountable for preparing our teacher workforce. And just to mention, in PPS, we are also held accountable to teach all kids to read. So this isn't, I didn't come here, and I want to be really clear, I didn't come to discredit any IHE. Matter of fact, I didn't name them. I come to share that we can't keep looking at the data and for someone to say, well, we have a little bit of growth, or a few kids did a little bit better. We're here because we have staggering data and we have to do better. And there are places that are doing better. And simply, hopefully, as you're listening tonight, that we'll continue to gain traction and really look at how are we preparing our teachers. But I can guarantee you that Portland Public Schools will continue to support our teachers and our students in changing that data. Thank you.